In today's video, we are going to be breaking down Seth Curry's basketball shooting form. This is the brother of Steph Curry, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Let's get down and let's check out how Steph Curry shoots the basketball. Okay, so what we're going to see here is essentially his set shot. So what we're going to see is his feet are pretty well squared towards the basket, but they do slightly drift off towards the left side. Now, when you're shooting a basketball, you don't necessarily have to be squared towards the basket, but it is something that will or can help you with consistency and also balance. So keep that in mind. Now, from there, what we're going to see is his hips as well as his shoulders are slightly off towards the left as well, but there is a reason for that. It's because of the way he shoots the basketball up top. Let me show you. So when he brings that ball up into his set point, we can see that he doesn't bend his elbow roughly until he reaches about that spot. Now his set point seems to be right in front of his right side of his forehead, and from there he has his wrist bent all the way back, which is going to give him a lot of rotation on that ball, and his wrist on the left side is straight up. Now, I've done previous videos between Seth, Steph, and Del Curry and the differences in their shots and the similarities, and there are actually a lot of similarities in their shot. Now, when we are looking at the back of Seth Curry's shot, we do notice that the shoulder is in line with the elbow towards the rim. This is going to give him the accuracy from left to right on how accurate his shot is. We're also going to be looking at his elbow and the ball, because that is also going to give us the accuracy towards the net. So this has a lot to do with accuracy, but also this as well. And as we can see, the right elbow is slightly underneath the right side of the ball, which is good. That's going to give him a lot of accuracy when it comes to shooting. Now, we do see when he goes up into his set point that his body is really pointing towards that left side. So most coaches will actually say that his shot should go left of the rim. Even though this is perfect, with his body being pointed towards the left side, a lot of coaches and trainers will say that he will most likely shoot more consistently towards the left side. Now, everything happens for a reason. Everything has to work together for you to have a perfect shot. And I'm going to explain to you that if your shot seems to be left all the time, there's a couple of different ways that you can correct your shot. Some of the easier ways is to bring your left shoulder forward. Another very easy way is to look at your shoulder, elbow, and ball and in what aspect they are in line or not in line, because if your elbow is a bit out, it'll go towards the left side for most cases, but also if your ball is on the left side of the elbow, then it should most likely go towards the left side. And then if your elbow is towards the left of the ball, if you're a right-handed player, then the ball will most likely go towards the right side. And same as up top, if the ball is on the right side of the elbow, then it would also go right. However, there's a few different ways of correcting your shot. So for one, you can bring that left shoulder forward. That could help. You can also change how your shoulder and elbow line up, or elbow and ball line up. But there's a more sophisticated way of fixing this, so that seems to be done by Del Curry, Seth Curry, and Steph Curry, and all three of these players tend to do this when you look close to their shot. And that is, they have that thumb flick, which is very interesting. So in my mind, this would be one of the hardest ways to correct a shot where you're pointing towards the left side, or you're not squared up totally towards the rim. However, we do see that this works for some of the best players to ever play in the NBA when it comes to shooting. Del Curry was one of the greatest shooters ever. Steph Curry is one of the greatest shooters currently and most likely ever. And I'm going to put Seth Curry also in that field of some of the greatest shooters ever. And this may or may not take a long time to learn, but for them, it definitely works out. Now, the issue that we sometimes have with players who shoot with a thumb is it takes away from the rotation of the ball. Sometimes you will shoot the ball and have zero or negative rotation. Negative is when it's spinning forward. It's just ridiculously hard to be able to shoot like that, but I've seen players do that somehow. And what we see here is the thumb actually pushes the ball up into the hand, the right hand, so that now when he releases that ball, it releases off of that middle finger. Now this, even though all of this is not in line, the whole body is not in line, the shoulder, elbow, and wrist are all in line with the basket. Now, because your body is off towards the side, that's going to automatically bring that ball out towards the left side. Because, as we can see here, the ball is even sitting on his thumb mostly. And because of this, that thumb pushes the ball up into his hand so that he has that middle finger release. Now, you can have a middle finger release, pointer finger, ring finger, whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's different reasons for each. But this is just so interesting how the Currys shoot the ball that it is worthwhile breaking down, and it might even help you become a better shooter yourself. Now, if your thumb does flick the ball too late, what's going to happen is the fact that it will not have a rotation on that ball. If you're flicking it up into your hand to then shoot, that is going to give you still the rotation on the ball. But if you end up shooting like Shaq, where you're shooting with both hands, at that point, you will not be having all that much rotation. You want rotation so that it hits the rim softer, so it bounces in if you're slightly off. I hope that this video has helped you become a better shooter. If it has, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.